because I've completed a marathon, I now have to run everywhere. So when I do like speaking engagements, I have to run on stage. It's mandatory now. It also makes me feel a little less nervous. So yes, today I am going to talk about values before work experience. And I'm going to do this by telling you the Bambora story so that you can create a values-based organization and hire for values first, experience second. Ooh, it does work. But first, there are 3 things that need to be put into place in order to be values before work experience. First, you need to be prepared to practice what you preach, especially as HR. You need to make your values real by modeling desired behaviors, like healthy ones, like running on a stage, and putting them in your everyday language. You need to put them into practice in every employee experience. Leaders need to live them, employees need to believe in them, and a potential hire should feel them the moment they walk in that door for the first interview. And then, of course, recruitment. In order to keep that values-based organization strong, you need to give a potential hire the opportunity to showcase your values. So here it goes. Bambora. We had values. Want to know what they were? I bet you do. You do, right? Yeah, okay. They were eager innovator, responsible game changer, and there was another one, and I actually genuinely do not remember what it was. And eager innovator, right? What does that even mean? They're so confusing. Bambora knew that they wanted their employee value proposition to be based on culture and a community around a strong set of values and common way of being. But yeah, we weren't going to be able to do that with such confusing values. So we gathered a diverse group of Bamborians, that's what we call our staff, and we asked them, what do these statements actually mean to you? What are the key traits and characteristics that describe your experience and the culture and working at Bambora? If Bambora were a person, it's actually a zebraf, how would you describe their personality? Simply stated, if you want your values to mean something, it needs to be a collaborative approach, and they need to emerge from your employees. It was through these collaborative conversations at Bambora that the values and the personality of Bambora started to emerge. Back. Oh yeah, huh? There we go, holy moly. And the 4 Bs emerged. All Bamborians know the 4 Bs by heart. Why? They're simple, they're not full of jargon, they're fun and playful, they're based on behaviors and our daily actions. They have given us an ideology to rally around. They show us and tell us how we should conduct ourselves on a regular basis, and they guide us, especially when we face difficulties. They have made for a particular atmosphere and culture in the zoo. That's what we call our office. I know, lots of funny little things, but it's fun. Our values are reinforced by being a part of every employee experience, from onboarding to performance management. They're even in the language of our policies. This way, they're tangible and real. And now, at Bambora, it all starts with recruitment, finding Bamborians who will drive our values-based organizational culture. And yes, that actually means we screen out really strong technical candidates if they don't embody our values. And values before work experience, it's not just about splashing your values on your website and saying, okay, there we go. It entails everyone involved in the process to be living the 4 Bs to a T. It involves giving a realistic preview to potential hires on what the behaviors are that are part of our values. It entails making sure that the candidate experience is what I like to call 4B fueled. And what does this look like in practice? Well, there's a few different facets to it, as you can see. Our career site, it does have our values splashed on there, of course, right? But the way it's designed, it actually shows our candidates a little bit about what the work atmosphere and culture is like. That way you have people applying already saying, hey, I totally self-identify with the values of that organization. I cannot wait to apply. Our job ads, they do something similar, but they dig in a little bit more into those behaviors that are associated with our values and into the ones that are associated with that particular role. We also ask our candidates to either tell us maybe how they've been bold in the world or something unique about them, because we want contribution and evolving of our values. More on that later. And when we have found candidates that embody all of our values, and I think we've heard people talk about this, actually I had a great conversation at table 2 about team values, which I really loved. We then have our interview teams talk to our candidates and ask particular questions that ask about that particular values that are most important to that team. Because yes, as an organization, we rally around the 4 Bs, but each team has a specific B that speaks the most to them. And I take our development team as an example. They work in agile methodologies and things like that. I don't know how familiar you are with that, but be collaborative is their top B. And so they ask interview questions to decipher whether or not the candidates they're talking to will thrive in that collaborative environment. If they're more of someone who loves an independent work environment, they're probably not going to align with the values of that team. I actually missed the values screen, which is funny because that's my most favorite part of this process. And I'm looking at Janice, maybe you've met her today, because we just love it and can't get enough of it. But it contains questions that ask about all of the 4 Bs. And I actually have some of those documents that I can share with you after if you come to my workshop, and we'll go through them. And hopefully we can figure out a way that you can ask questions that embody the values of your organization. The values reference check probably feels a little bit like an interview in itself to the people that we call, and that's because the questions in there mirror our values screen. So we want to know, has someone in the real world seen this person live our 4 Bs? So it's a good little check for us. True to the 4 Bs and to be collaborative, no hiring decision is made in a silo at Bambora. From using Slack with our interview panel to communicate, from pre- and post-team huddles with our interview panels, to being always open to feedback and transparent in the process. Our candidate experience, we are always be bold because we try to give actionable feedback to everyone that actually comes to the zoo for an interview, and be responsible, and that no one is ever left hanging wondering, where am I in this process? And then there's this thing called contribution. And I've heard some organizations with really strong cultures say, oh no, we woke up one day and everyone was the same. And they realized it was the way they were recruiting. That's why it's important to take note of contribution. And at Bambora, we do that by our values being based on behaviors. But not only that, we're cognizant of the fact that passion, that doesn't equal loudness. A different personality can exemplify our values in many different ways. And really, what it comes down to is balance and belonging, finding a variety of candidates to join the zoo who will round out the organization and who feel they can be their authentic selves in the Bambora culture. And now we have an organization where people want to join Bambora, stay at Bambora, and develop their oddly human selves in the zoo because of them. And I have some great concrete examples, and our values have just gotten stronger and stronger and stronger because of our values before work experience recruitment that I would love to share with and discuss with you later. But really, what it's come down to is making our values real, putting them into practice, and using them in recruitment. Doing this has made values before work experience a real game changer at Bambora. Thank you.